Today my composting chicken run needs a little bit of care and attention. I'm going to do some maintenance, so I thought you guys might like to come along with me and see what I do to keep my composting chicken run up and running well, and looking great. I've already done 2 videos about composting chicken runs, so you can check those out for the specifics on how to set them up and the whole concept of how they work. But today we're just doing some maintenance, some actual how do you operate it. So what I have going on here is this is the tree where my chickens like to sleep. Which means this is where they poop a lot, in a little concentrated area just right here. So they poop too much for the composting run to just absorb it up from that one spot. So what I do is I come in with a rake and I rake the poop up into a pile. So I'm kind of making it like an extra little compost pile in the run. And the chickens will come and they will make it go all away again and they have fun, so it's a little bit of enrichment for them as well, so it's doing double duty. And that issue here is specific to because the chickens sleep in the tree. So if your chickens don't sleep in a tree out in your composting run, you're not going to have this issue. All the rest of the run doesn't have this poop concentration issue. It's just this little spot here where so many chickens are pooping at nighttime. But if you're concerned at any point that a bit too much poop is building up in your run, you can do this exact thing of just piling up the mulch and the poop, and it will just take care of itself. Pretty easy solution. And I just come and do this maybe once a week, and it keeps everything nice and tidy and not stinking. So one of the reasons this is happening, aside from all the poop from sleeping time, is I filled the run up a huge amount because someone was available with a huge trailer load of mulch to just come and dump it here. And I was like, yes, bring the mulch. But it was so much mulch. It was like, it's gone away a lot, but it was a big pile. I was like standing up on it and looking out into the distance. It was a lot of mulch. Too much mulch for the size of my run here. But it's going to go away, it's going to break down, but that sort of reset the run to 0. So just waiting for it to kick back into full operation again. We're pretty much there now, but yeah, that's sort of why I'm having this poop issue and why I'm having to do a little bit more than normal to keep it maintained. So that is something to consider. If you put too much wood chip mulch into your chicken composting run, it's going to take longer for the system to get kicked up and running really well. And on the flip side of that, if you don't put enough in, then it's gonna start really quickly, but then fizzle out really fast. So it's about the balance. Now I knew I was putting too much mulch in, so I accepted that. I would much rather have that giant pile of mulch. My run's gonna be good now with no extra wood chip mulch for like probably 2 full years. So I thought I would take that, take the setback on the system's sort of biological processes, and we're pretty much back up and running now. But let's have a look at how easy it is to just manage cleaning out the actual coop in this system. So I'm gonna show you how I clean up the nest boxes. Let's go have a look at that. So with a composting run system, this is how easy it is to change out the nest box bedding. So this is the coop where some of the chickens do sleep still, and they do lay eggs in here. So it's just a case of taking out the liners from the nest boxes, which I just use empty feed sacks, and just biffing out the shavings, and that's it. Then I just scoop out whatever has fallen outside of the liners, and it can just go straight down on the composting run surface. It's going to compost away don't have to take it to another compost bin or put it in the trash or anything. It can just get thrown straight out, and that's it. The cleaning is done, which is super easy. Do it in a couple of minutes. And the exact same thing I do with the chicken coop. So I have a deep bedding system in the chicken coop, which means I've got shavings just like I'm using in the nest boxes here in a thick layer inside there. And then when it gets too poopy, so every couple of weeks, I just get the rake and I rake the top layer off, bring it out of the coop door and just spread it out in the run, and that's it. That's the coop cleaned. Put down more clean shavings, and that's the entire maintenance. It takes, I don't know, 7 to 10 minutes to rake out the worst of it and put in clean bedding, and it is all done. So that's it. That is changing the nest box bedding. Thank you, Rooster. We're going to have a look at how easy it is to harvest out compost from this run. So let's go have a look at that now. When I want to harvest out just a little bit of compost, I use this excellent tennis racket and a bucket. So that's my sieve, and the bucket is where I'm going to be making seed raising mix or whatever I need a small amount for. If I need a big amount, I bring the wheelbarrow in and a big shovel and a big screen that fits on the top of the wheelbarrow, but I don't need a lot today. So we're just going to use the little system. I've raked off the top layer of the composting run, the mulch layer, so I get down to the stuff that's finished. And I had to dig quite a way because, like I said, there's a lot of mulch on top here, but it's looking really nice down here. So all I do is use a little shovel if I just want a little amount and just pop it through the screen. And I don't mind too much if it's a bit chunky. It's fine for most of my purposes. Even my little seeds come up fine in chunky potting soil. It's totally not an issue. So this is all beautiful, really, really well finished compost. There's a few stones in there, a little bit of sort of bark and chip that hasn't fully broken down yet, and that's what the screen is for. But everything going through the screen into the bucket is just lovely, delicious smelling compost that is packed, absolutely chock full of all the things that plants need to be happy. The seeds that I raise out of this potting mix, they're so strong. Their root systems are amazing. I have never used anything better than this chicken run compost. I mix that with worm castings and just a little bit of kelp and things like that, and it's perfect. You won't know how amazing it is until you try it. So I do hope that you try your own composting run. You'll just have such great effects in your garden from this. It's winning all around. Chickens are happy, gardens are happy, and you're happy because the run doesn't smell and it's really, really low maintenance. But I have another side of my chicken run that isn't set up quite like this. It's not a composting run, but it still works really well with these sorts of principles. So we're going to head over to the back end of my run. I'm going to show you how I maintain that side. Right, so this is my other side of the chicken run, and this is a major transit zone for the flock. Originally, they were shut into this area and the front area, but now they're not shut in. They have the entire backyard. But this is their main zone where they walk back and forwards. They like to hang out here in the morning and sunbathe and dust bathe and just generally hang under the bushes and be chickens. It's their favorite hangout spot. So it gets pretty hammered. Like I said, it used to be grass here and it is not anymore. So what I do to manage this side, it's not wood chipped in. That was just too much to maintain. This is a really big run area with the front and the back, is I just put weeds, organic materials, so straw. This is just plants that I cut back that are actually on the other side of the fence of the run, which works really well because any nutrients that escape from the chicken poop out into the environment get sucked up by the plants. Then I cut the plants and I just throw them out here on the ground to keep the ground covered. So that's my main strategy on this side, is to just keep the soil covered at all times with pretty much whatever I can get my hands on. Grass clippings, straw, hay, and like I said, weeds that I just chop and throw everywhere. So I got a big pile of, I think there's some mint here from pruning down all my crazy mint plants. There's general weeds. There's big piles of grass clumps that I've cut. And then I just spread that all out. In the autumn time, I fill this all up with dried leaves that I go and get, which I did, and that's only about, I don't know, 3-4 months ago. I really put a huge amount of leaves in here and it's gone. It's very biologically active. So this constantly adding of weeds and plant material, it's pretty constant. I have to keep on top of it. It disappears very quickly with the chickens scratching around in it, but it's beautiful soil under here. It's just fantastic. All the trees and bushes are really happy. There are just worms for days under there. If you dig in, there's so many worms. So it's really good. I'm not worried about there being too much manure going here or anything like that. But to manage it, to not be muddy and stinky, it's got to have that organic matter put down pretty constantly. Pretty much every month I'm in chucking things over here. Mostly just grass clippings from mowing the lawn, so that works really well. So those are my regular maintenance chores for maintaining the composting chicken run and the kind of half composting chicken run on the other side. I hope that's really helped to show you guys what's involved in managing the composting chicken run. It's pretty easy, but it's not completely maintenance free, but I think it is the most maintenance free system you can have. You're gonna have no mud, no smell, and hardly any work, and you're gonna make beautiful compost for your garden.